I'm about to do some reading tonight, and I'm reading Confusion by Stefan Zweig. So far, it's okay. I don't think it's my favorite, but it follows Roland. He's a university student, and he meets this professor, and they kind of grow this close relationship together. I'm still trying to figure out what the dynamic is, but it seems like Roland really looks up to this professor and wants to grow closer to him and learn from him, but then the professor, he wants to be close, but also feels like he doesn't like him. I don't know. It's a bit confusing, and I think that's also how the main character feels. But as I was reading this, and I was thinking about all the books that I read in the past couple of months, I think I've read mostly male authors, which honestly wasn't intentional. I feel like I've been sticking to a lot of the same authors. So I've recently read a lot of Steinbeck, read multiple from George Orwell, and then also Stefan Zweig. I'm starting to read some of his works as well. So I feel like that's kind of why I haven't been reading a lot of female authors, but I want to change that because I think it's good to switch it up. And I feel like I'm trying to think, I feel like I haven't really read a book that's focused on female relationships and female friendships. And I kind of want to. I feel like I'm craving that a little bit. Everything I read so far in this year actually has been pretty good for the most part, though. I feel like that has been great. But maybe I'll actually look at my bookshelf to see what options I have. I'm in front of my shelf now, and I feel like I definitely do have a good number of options. Maybe I'll flip the camera so you can see. So I've definitely been wanting to read more of Toni Morrison. I've only read Sula, but I have Beloved and The Bluest Eye. Definitely heard a lot about The Bluest Eye. Well, actually both of them, but I was thinking about reading this one first out of the two. I also have, let's see, this one. This is Ex-Wife by Ursula Parrott, and I got this at a used bookstore, but it's from the McNally, and they actually have a store in New York. I think they're based in New York, but I remember seeing this, and I think it was probably in their top 5 bestsellers. I have Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Haven't read anything by the Bronte sisters. I did get this when the movie was out because it was, I don't know, very popular, and I was like, maybe it's an opportunity for me to read it. I haven't, but my cousin really likes the Bronte sisters, and she actually read this not too long ago too. So that is definitely something I could read. The Bell Jar, I feel like last year I talked about reading this a lot, but I never did. I don't know if I really want to. I don't know. People have mixed reviews on it, which I understand why. And then Clarice Lispector. This is a short one. I do also have some books up here. I feel like Magda Szabo actually might be a good option because I have The Door by her, The Fawn I recently found at a used bookstore, and then Abigail, I did DNF it, but now I'm thinking maybe I should give it another shot because I feel like it was just the wrong timing. I felt like it was a bit slow and I could see myself kind of falling into a reading slump, which is why I stopped. But it wasn't that I hated the story or anything like that. I just felt like it was kind of moving a bit slower than I wanted. And what else? Lisa Tuttle, My Death. My friend read this and she said she liked it. Oh, Barbara Comans. Our Spoons Came from Woolworths. I did read The Vet's Daughter by her. I did like that one. And there's also Elizabeth Taylor. There's actually a decent amount I have here. So, actually, I do have this book up here. This is by Susie Boyd, Love and Mist. I recently picked this up at a bookstore, and people commented saying that they really liked it. It sounds like a heartbreaking novel, but I think this might be what I'm looking for, so this could also be a good option. Good morning. It's a Wednesday, so it's a work day. I actually have a meeting in a few minutes, or a couple minutes now, actually. I need to hurry. I feel like this week has gone by so slow. I have cherries and raspberries, and then I have this Simply Elizabeth granola. It's the blueberry one. I usually get the chocolate one. I think I've had that every day for the past couple of months, but they didn't have it this time, and I actually like the blueberry one. And then there's Greek yogurt on the bottom. And then for my matcha latte, I added guava nectar to it, and it's actually really good. I haven't done that before. I usually have it with just plain jasmine tea. It's not too sweet either. I didn't have to add any additional sugar or maple syrup or anything. Okay, I should probably go to my meeting now, but that is my breakfast. Hopefully I will be productive today. I need to write a to-do list. So I wanted to do a reading update on confusion. Also, I did my hair differently today. I've been using the thermal brush to do the blowout style. I really like it. Anyways, back to my reading thoughts. So I picked this up earlier this week because I finished Chess Story by Zweig a few weeks ago. I really liked it. I felt like it was such a short but impactful book, and it had themes of obsession, also isolation, really isolation in captivity because it wasn't by the character's own volition, and they were forced into isolation for an extended period of time, which led to this obsession growing because it's interesting. Zweig is very psychological, and I think he really dives into the human mind. And in that one, you can see what really happens to your mind and how it slowly tries to grasp at straws when it has nothing to do. And so this book also has a theme of obsession, but in a very different way. It follows Roland, who is our main character. He's, I think, 19 years old, and he's at this point in his life where he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. He's trying to do his studies at school, and he comes across this professor during a lecture, or just like a heated discussion. I think it was about Shakespeare, maybe, I don't know. But he's totally captivated and enraptured by this discussion and how passionate this professor is. And it's kind of like this intellectual awakening for him. But you see how he grows this infatuation with the professor. And it's just a story kind of about, I guess, him finding his identity. But his professor is also very capricious at times, and so sometimes he is very nice and kind and warm and friendly, but then other times he's very curt and he's very cold. And so Roland is just having this push and pull and not able to, I don't know, figure out what is going on with this professor, but he also desperately wants his approval. So it kind of goes into the, I guess, internal turmoil that Roland is experiencing. And what I do like about Zweig's writing is that he is, like I said, very psychological, and I realized or learned that he was contemporaries with Sigmund Freud, and also they were quite close friends, so you can see Freud's influence in his writing. With this one, though, I don't love the prose, the writing style. It feels very flowery and lyrical. Maybe it's just me, but I have an example here. It says, "I felt a storm surging over me, the breaking surf of the ocean's lip powerfully uttered its echoing word. Bending over the desk, I felt as if I were standing among the dunes of my home again, with the great surge of 1,000 waves coming up and sea spray flying in the wind." I don't know. I feel like I just don't really gravitate towards writing like that. So at times it felt like it was just a little much. Like I knew where the character was coming from, but maybe it's just the way that Roland thinks, and it kind of signals, I guess, his change and how he's becoming more of this eloquent young man. I don't know. But I'll see how I feel once I finish it. I don't think it's really a favorite so far, but I think it's still exciting and fun to try out new authors. So those are my thoughts so far. I have an exciting knitting update. So I finally finished one of the sleeves. I do have the other one to do, but it actually didn't take me that long. I think it took me only a couple of days. It went by really fast, especially because there's a lot of decreases. These are all the markings for my decreases. So every time you have a decrease, it just reduces it by a good amount. And so over time, it's just really quick going every round. So I'm gonna start this probably this weekend. I think I have some time. It's just a matter of putting them on the needles. I feel like that always just feels like a lot of work, even though it's really not. But maybe I'll do a little try on so you can see what it looks like. So this is a sweater. The fit is okay. I feel like it's not as loose or as long. Like I want it to be a bit more like relaxed fit, and I think that'll definitely happen once I block it out. So it'll have a nicer drape to it, it'll smooth things out, and I'm gonna stretch it like this. And then also for the neckline, I feel like it's a bit high, so I want it to ideally pull down and come like here. We'll have to see though, but I really like the sleeves for this one. Since there's more decreases, it's just a bit more snug around your hand. And I think the other sweater that I knit before this one, it was just kind of uncomfortable. Like the sleeve would fall down, and I feel like it was hard to like move around because it would just get in my way. So that's what it looks like. I'm hoping that it'll block out the way I want it because I've never worked with this yarn before. I mean, it was nice to knit with, but you never really know how it'll block out. I really like this detail here, you can see, and it also goes underneath in the sleeve. I was thinking about maybe casting on or picking up the armhole tonight, but I think I won't. I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna try out a new matcha today. I got this from Japan. I think this is a floral matcha. I could be wrong though. This is from Kambayashi Shunsho, which I've only tried one other time. I know it's really popular, but it's kind of hard to get. So I was really excited that I found it there. Okay. The color looks really green, and it smells very good. Okay, I'm just gonna try it with maple syrup today and not add any like syrups or other flavorings because I want to see how it tastes.